What's up YouTube? This is The Knife, and this is my first look at a game called Chasm. It's currently being kickstarted, and this is the demo that's available on their website. This is version 1.05. Chasm is an action RPG platformer in the vein of Metroid and Castlevania. Some people might call that a Metroidvania. I know a lot of people don't like that term, but just from the short time I've had, that's how this game feels like it's shaping up. I haven't noticed a lot of backtracking, but then again, this is just the demo. This is only about 20 minutes of gameplay, maybe 25 if you stretch it out and explore every individual room. But the story is that you're a hero returning from the war. You've come back to your village, and a little bit of chaos has broken out in the mine. So you're tasked with going down in the mine and figuring out what the hell's going on. So let's take a look at some of the systems in place. If you notice at the top right corner, there are two fist icons. You can essentially equip weapons or spells to either hand, which you would use. I'm using the Xbox controller, so it would be either the X or B button as it displays on the icons. But you can equip weapons or spells. I'm sure that if you wanted to, you could equip 2 weapons, you could equip 2 spells. I don't know if the game will allow you to use 2 spells and specialize that way. I didn't really, with a demo like this, you don't get a lot of time to investigate features like that, but that would be pretty nice if they let you do something like that. So let's take a look at the dungeon, and we'll get into the meat and potatoes of what this game's about. The dungeons in Chasm are all procedurally generated, meaning on additional playthroughs it's going to change. It's going to be generated each time you enter the dungeon. What that means is enemy placement's going to be different, item placement's going to be different, treasure placement's going to be different, everything's going to be different. I'm sure that it's going to be the same in some limited capacity, but for the most part it should be changing each time you play through. Looting treasure chests that you come across is pretty much like every other game. It gives you items, inventory, gold that you can use in the shop above ground. You also come across altars in the game. This one says you feel fortunate, and the altars grant you abilities or specializations, multipliers to certain skills. So this one, as you can see in the top center, I have a bag right there with a timer on it. That basically indicates that while I kill enemies or loot chests, any money that I get would probably be multiplied. I don't know for sure if that's what that stands for. That's just what I'm guessing. There isn't really I didn't see a lot of documentation. There's no documentation as far as I could see in the demo itself. But later in the game, I also came across ones for more multiple XP. There are other altars where you can drop rubies or gems that you find, and you can use that to gain multiple attributes for your character. So on the subject of attribute, let's go back and look at that inventory screen for a second. We'll deduce what's going on here. Adding different inventory items changes your different skills. So in the top left, you see what I've already got equipped, and in the top right, you see my attributes. Strength is obviously your strength. Intelligence increases your magic or your mana. Constitution increases your hit points. Luck increases, I guess, the money that you get. Your attack power on your X and B buttons, and your defense, and I'm sure that defense equates to how much or how little damage you take from enemies. So let's get into the gameplay a little bit. If you're familiar with a Metroid or one of the more recent Castlevania games, you're probably pretty familiar with how this game plays. Just like the newer Castlevanias on the DS and the 3DS, you do get different weapons. They have different arcs of attack. So you might have a sword that has a broad attack range or an arc, or you might get a knife that has a smaller attack range, just might be right in front of you. I don't know about other weapons. I didn't encounter anything besides knives or swords, but so far that's how those weapons have worked. For the platforming itself, the jumping is really tight. I do like that a lot. The one complaint that I have so far with this game is some of the attacking the controls can feel kind of loose, a little bit sloppy. Again, this is a demo, so I'm sure as this game gets closer to completion and before it gets actually released, I'm sure a lot of those things will be tightened up. So that's not something you can really hold against the game now, but I mean, even right now, it's in a really playable state, and I would be pretty happy if it was just released like this. I mean, there are some little niggling things here and there, and you might feel a little cheap once in a while when you don't get an attack out, but that could be that the weapons might not attack as fast as I would think that they would. Like a knife, if you continually hit the button, spam the button, I would think that, there's got to be something in there that where there's a delay, so you're not just constantly flicking your knife out and not being able to be hit at all. So once again, this is my first look at a game called Chasm. It is being currently kickstarted. They're at about 80% of their goal, so I think they have 6 days left. I'm pretty sure they're going to hit their mark. I personally contributed to this after playing this demo, because if you're a fan of this kind of game, this is a game you should be either helping kickstart or buying when it comes out. All the information of where you can donate or contribute to the Kickstarter page are going to be below the video. There'll also be links to Dischord games and a link to their Steam greenlight page to get this game greenlit so it can be sold on Steam. So again, if you're a fan of this genre of game, go to all 3 of those links. Go to the Steam greenlight page and give it a vote. Maybe we can see this game on Steam. If not, I'm sure Dischord will be selling the game directly on their site. So again, this is The Knife signing off. Thanks for watching. If you're a fan of this kind of game, again, please contribute. This is a great game in my opinion, and I've only played it for a short period of time. I'd really love to see what Dischord can do, given the full funding that they need. So again, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.